Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sebastian. If you're new to my channel, hello. So, I just woke up about 20 minutes ago. I was doing my morning prayer, I was doing meditation, and then I went on to do my hydration with bio oil, listening to Cheetah Girls, Girl Power, trying to get motivated for this day, trying to make myself go on that 4-mile walk that I really don't want to go on. And then I go on Twitter, which I always say to myself, don't go on Twitter the first hour you're awake because that shit is gonna send you to places you should not be in. But I went on Twitter, you guys, and yes, it sent me. If you're new to my channel, my name is Sebastian. Did I already say that? It's early, bitch. Early for me. Okay, guys, let's just get into it. I woke up to a bajillion notifications, and it's about James Charles. Now, this matter is delicate, so I'm, usually, sassy and shady and all these things, but because it is a delicate situation, you're going to see a more serious side of me, but I think that's okay. And yeah, please subscribe if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, so last night, a 14-year-old TikToker, he basically came out to say that allegedly James Charles has been allegedly pressuring him not only to fly out to LA, but also to send him nudes, allegedly. So, he goes on to say in the video that when James Charles was doing a live, his friend told him, hey, why don't we go on his live and troll him a bit? So they did. And the TikToker, he then went on to DM him. Like, it was like a bet between him, his friend, and himself. And James Charles responded the next day, allegedly. And so then he says that the next day, James Charles asked him how old he was, and he said 14. And then he goes on to say, let's move this over to Snapchat. I feel more comfortable there. Apparently, James Charles said that. And they go to Snapchat, and I guess they start talking, and the 14 TikToker says that James started kind of manipulating him allegedly to think he was bisexual. And not only that, but he says that James allegedly sent him nudes of his behind. And that he was pressuring him to get nudes from him, and also to fly him out to LA. Now, if you guys remember in Logan Paul's podcast, James was talking about a guy that he wanted to fly out to LA, but the guy was like, coming up with family like drama, saying like he can't come, saying blah blah blah, like making excuses. And then apparently that was about the 14-year-old TikToker. His friend let him know that was about him. He was like, hey, I think James is talking about you. So he goes on to say that he was telling James, making up excuses about why he couldn't come and all of these things, allegedly. And he said that he wanted to bring his friend, which was also in the video with him. Now, that's the weird part, because in the video, he says that he started feeling very uncomfortable. And then he says that he would go to LA, but with a friend. So that's the part I don't get. The friend, his friend is you can tell he's very protective over, his 14-year-old friend. And he basically says like, mind you, my friend is only 14. Like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? He's 21. He can have anyone in LA. Like, why are you pressuring this 14-year-old, making him believe, that he's bisexual, making him believe this, sending him ass pictures, all these things. So then apparently the 14-year-old TikToker allegedly writes to James and says like, hey, why are you talking about me in this podcast? He's like, oh, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about somebody else. And so James allegedly then says like, if this gets out, I'm gonna ruin you, I'm gonna ruin your family, I'm gonna ruin your life, and out him. So he decided to do this live, he decided to do this video, and he basically just said the whole thing. You guys, if this, first of all, James did say in the he said in the podcast he prefers younger guys. So this is not helping the situation. If this happens to be true, you cannot come back from this, you guys. You know, which I'm very glad that authorities, if this is true, take, you know, underage. The thing is, like, I was reading some comments and they were saying like, well, if you didn't want him, why were you leading him on? Why were you doing this? And then, you know, you can say all these things about this 14-year-old kid. At the end of the day, he's 14. So a 14-year-old is immature. You know, I remember back in my like chat room days when I was 13, I would tell, you know, I was doing that too. I was like, you know, talking to guys from all over and, you know, exploring my sexuality and, you know, getting into chat rooms I probably shouldn't be in, and saying I was older than I was, you know. But the problem is that this kid said he was, because if that was the case, if he said he was 18 and then came out that said he was 14, maybe that would change things, you know? When I was younger, I'd be like, I'm 18, I'm going to college, my name is Brian, I have blue eyes, blonde hair, you know, stuff, stupid shit like that. But I would never say I was 14 or 13. But this kid said allegedly that he was. So it really is this is a very serious thing. If this happens to be true, he said that if James tries to deny it, he's going to unblur the pictures that he has. So you guys, I have absolutely no idea how this is going to end. I don't know. You know, if this is true, and it comes to light that this is true, James Charles is 1,000% over. Anyone should be over, you know, as an adult. If you are aware that, if you are aware that somebody's underage, you should step back and say, I'm so sorry, I thought you were older. You know, right from the beginning, like, hey, how old are you? You're 14. Oh, okay, you know what, sweetie? Thank you so much. I thought you were older. Have a great day. Done. You know what I mean? Move on. Send him a makeup palette. I don't know, bitch. You know, but, and if this is not true, I hope that James does fight it, because this will be a very bad stain to his reputation, and, you know, obviously it won't be pretty. So, yeah, you guys, this is serious. This isn't a joke. That's why, you know, I hope both parties take this as serious as possible. Like I said, if this is not real, I hope James fights, and if this is real, I hope, you know, justice gets to it. A lot of people are saying he's doing this for clout and everything. Yes, you know what? Obviously, in the beginning, I'm pretty sure a 14-year-old is like, oh, you know what? That's so cool, like James Charles, like this, not. But, you know, you can say whatever you want about him. At the end of the day, being 14 is going to outweigh everything. You know what I mean? So let me know what you guys think in the comments. I will be giving you some more updates as the day goes by. I love you all so much. And yeah, this is a little too much. And yeah, if you liked this sort of tea where it's like you're FaceTiming your friend, please consider subscribing. And I'm gonna go finish my hydration. And man, this is crazy. This is, yeah, oof.